Well, hello there. Welcome to another episode of Kingdom Social Justice Solutions. A lot has been going on, y'all. Coming out the gate is January. Well, no, we're in February now, February 1st. Black History Month. There's so much to be grateful for and definitely honor our ancestors, those that have gone before us, that fought for so much through the civil rights movement, through just every stage, through slavery, through Jim Crow, through Reconstruction, just all the greats, all the ones that we celebrate, and even those that are unnamed, the unsung heroes. I even think about my dad. He actually got a reward, an award for being an unsung hero in his community back in Kansas City, Missouri. And not too long before he passed. But when you think about just the faceless and nameless people that we don't hear about, but we know they were in the fight and definitely in it and in it for the long haul. And everybody didn't get the praise and the accolades, but we are standing on the shoulders of those who've gone before us. And so we do greatly honor our ancestors, our elders that have basically laid the groundwork, that have um, been the pioneers that have broke through barriers so that we can walk through the things that we're walking today. And of course, now, ironically, we are still in a fight. Um, we're in a fight, and I guess you can look at it as when you fight for freedom, you had to continue to fight to maintain that freedom. And so, things that we have fought for in the past, and we've seen some victories. Some things we're going to have to fight to hold on to and to maintain. And but I wanted to come on today, and there's a lot been going on in the news. You know, the current president has been coming in with a vengeance, doing his thing. However, there's still um, something to contend with. Someone can have a goal and an ambition to be something, to execute their vision, but the thing is, if everybody does not agree, um, there's going to be resistance. And there, the thing about it, this is nothing new. The strategy that has been used, and I posted this on my my Facebook page, was that the strategy of divide and conquer has been a strategy that's been used all throughout history. And so, but the thing is, we keep falling for it. But what we can do is learn from history, learn from what happened in other groups of people, maybe other countries, and even in our own country, things that's happened before. And the way, like, it's just the essence of what it is. When you have people that are divided, then you can't even agree on a way forward. So as long as there's division, it's like a gaping hole. It's like a door for um, people and things to come in. However, um, so once again, I said this podcast is about solutions. So the way that you counter division is with unity because it's the very opposite. So that's why when you see someone that is strategically and intentionally fueling division, is because there is an understanding, there is a law in place in nature that when something is unified, bonded together, then they're strong. But when there's fragments, there's division, everything falls apart. And that's what we're seeing in the US. And I just wanted to provide at least four solutions. Four solutions. I know in all the things that's going on, people are just reporting and letting us know, and we're seeing it unfold before us is so much. But I want to provide solutions. Um, So the first one I would say is number one, let's stay ready. Let's stay ready. And when I mean ready, actually that could be different things for different people. Ready financially, ready mentally, ready in, getting your family together, getting your affairs in order, just being ready for what's coming. Remember, 2020, we went through something similar with this global pandemic, and this took us by surprise. We were totally thrown off. People having to work from home. Some people were laid off and fired. It's just so much disruption in our lives, and we had to pivot. We had to readjust. And my thing is, oftentimes we have a crisis and we figure out what to do, we survive the crisis, and then things start seemingly going well. And then we start laxing, we start forgetting those disciplines, those things that we put in place and that structure and whatever commitments we were going to make. And we just kind of fall off the wheel. And then here comes another crisis. And then now we're having to re-engage and readjust. And I feel like we spend so much time going through the almost the living in denial phase that we're not ready. And the thing is, let's acknowledge and recognize that trouble is going to keep coming. And then what we're seeing now is kind of back to back. And I know there's some fatigue, but the thing is, if we stay ready, stay in a place of readiness, so that even when things seem to be waning off and there's a break or a lull, the thing is, you already stayed ready. So when the next trial or tribulation, the next situation, crisis comes, we're already prepared. We're basically battle ready. Okay. So number two, I would strongly encourage people to get in community. Get in community, please. This is not the time to be isolated. This is not the time to be in our own little world and just tuning things out and living like a hermit. You need to be in a community that you feel safe, you feel supported, you feel the love. You feel like people really have your back and really care about you, care about your situation. And that's whether we are immigrants, undocumented, us as Black people, brown people, just all of us that's here, whatever, because it's like I don't know, it's a field day for everybody. So let's just all like I said, get into community, and that can mean different things for different people. If it's your church group, if it's your neighbors, a neighborhood association, if it's your coworkers, maybe they're a union, they're a co-op. Yeah, this is the time to collectively, like that's how we are going to not just survive this, but overcome these crises, this attack on our democracy, this attack on our freedom, this attack on our finances. I'm telling y'all, this boils down to an economic attack. Even though we're not physically fighting, yeah, we in a war. Like this is a war. Uh, and it's been declared, so we can't say it's an undeclared war, but it is a war. No, it's not physical at this point, but it's a war against our own freedoms and what we safety for our family, our friend, for our future. And if you, I think the sooner you recognize that, the sooner you can start putting things in place and being and stay ready. As I said, it's the first solution. So, like I said again, get in community and try to find community. Um, and I would suggest there's a Nigerian center in DC. There's a African Communities Together organization in New York, and I'm sure there's people on the West Coast. There's organizations over there. I think Haitians Bridge Alliance. They may be in California. I'm sure that in places in Texas, and let's not forget the Catholic Charities and different organizations, because a lot of these organizations already been doing these things, through previous time. They've already been helping people when it comes to asylum, when it comes to detention, being picked up by ICE and being detained, and just all the different things. The ACLU, different organizations, the NAACP. There are other organizations that they've been in this fight for a long time. So you want to make sure you connect, just see, what information they're providing, what services they may be providing as well. So the third solution I would say is make sure we're getting factual information. There are these news outlets is very biased, and I understand bias because then you can say, "Oh yeah, bias on both ways," but you want to verify and maybe start latch on to and narrow down. Okay, here's a source, and like I said, whether it's the regular news, whether somebody has a podcast, a YouTube channel, a TikTok, but try to verify and even what people are saying, look it up. Another good way resources, look at global news, look at international news, looking at other news outlets that don't necessarily have a tie or an allegiance to anyone in this country. And so they're going to be more, generally could be more objective because they're coming from a whole nother country. So they're like, okay, what we report really shouldn't, shouldn't be a big deal. We just report what we see. So, but please make sure we're getting factual information. So we know and how to move in these times. And the fourth solution I would say is definitely plan for your future. This is the time you want to make sure your finances are in order. You want to make sure you have a plan for your loved ones, that you have some type of will, some estate. You plan for your estate, for your house. Even if you can do a beneficiary deed, and that's when you just it's a deed where you're transferring your house to, it can be your children or to another loved one or to someone, but it doesn't activate basically until you pass. So you can get that filed with the register recorder of deeds. Make sure you have your guardianship documents in place, especially if you have minor children or you have children or loved ones that are incapacitated, or they're people that just need extra help where they can't live on their own. And someone else has to help. You want to make sure you have some documents in case that if something happens to you, or you guys get separated, or if anything that should occur, that someone can take care of your kids, and they'll already have documents where you've already decided who you want to be the guardian of your child. Those are documents that you can do and get that notarized. Your bank account, you want to make sure you'll be able to have access to your finances in the event. And I know I'm not trying to, but my thing is, if we look, other countries have been through recent, and I'm talking about recent, just total chaos where people, I would say this is like a low key coup, basically. Like it's kind of a finessed, not as subtle and not as violent, but it's a coup in in essence. So we just look at the other countries, Venezuela and different ones where people have, and I'm like, I would say within the last 10 years, there's other countries that have gone through just where someone just, a political party or something just comes in and just totally disrupts everything. And people literally are having to, that's why you have people that have come to this country because they're fleeing countries that have gone through some of the similar things that we're going through. So that's what's just the irony of the whole situation. But the thing is, you want to make sure, think about what, and even if you could talk to someone, it's like, what did you do? What would you have done differently if you really had thought about, oh wow, this could happen. I may actually have to flee my country to go somewhere else. What documents would you have in order? What would you have grabbed? What access, what you would have done with your bank account so you can have access to it. So just those are some things to keep in mind and to prepare. But I hope those provide some solutions. Because as I'm saying, I know there's a lot going on, and I appreciate definitely the people that are bringing the truth and reporting what's happening. I just want to make sure that we have solutions. We're not sitting here helpless and crying and curled up in a ball. And I understand a lot of that is real for some people, but like I said, I heard a minister preaching, Reverend Johnson, but it's like we've been here before. Maybe it's a different face, different thing, but it's the same attack. So, and so we should apply our same strategy. It's just, once again, stay ready, get in community, get factual information, and plan for your future. All right. And I'm gonna try to do my best to come back on here and keep encouraging with some real practical solutions for people, because I'm sure a lot of people are trying to look for answers and looking for hope and encouragement. And that is my aim and my mission. All right. Well, you take care, keep fighting a good fight, and make every second count.